Howdy, here we go. Righto. Waiting for people. Think what's going on. Let's have a little look-see. Is anybody here? Anyone here yet? Can you hear me? Right. If you're here, say hello. Oh, shit. Audio and video running. A-OK. Hey, Pete. Hey, Code. How are you guys going? Well, I suppose we'll hang around for a bit until we get a few people tuning in, but people are starting to flood in here now, so that's kind of nice to see. How's everybody going? Where are we all tuning in from tonight? Or if it is tonight for you guys, or what's going on? Are you up really early in the morning, or what's the go? What's the go? Melbourne, great. You guys in lockdown in Melbourne or not really yet? I'm not sure. Oh, no, you guys are in lockdown, aren't you? So Sydney, I'm outside of Sydney area, so luckily enough for me, no lockdown. Howdy from Perth, where it's 6 p.m. and 1962. Now, surely it can't be that bad over there. Surely not. So anyway, so no lockdown for us. Touch wood at this stage. It's a situation of we're outside of that Sydney area here, so that's really good. So yeah, we can still sort of live life fairly normal, apart from the mask thing when we go out. Scott T, Sydney lockdown tighter than the Pope's PJs. Port Macquarie, Daniel's Lawn Care. Welcome, Muddy. How are you? Steve Parker in lockdown. What's everyone been up to apart from being in lockdown? I mean, what's happening? Not much in, I suppose, down here. I suppose if there's a few Brisbane people, a few Queenslanders, there's probably still a bit of green grass around the place, is there? Don't mind me. It's just nice little drink time. I thought I'd kick back and spend an hour or so with you guys and just talk about stuff. Tiff Tough Coast, welcome, mate, welcome. Daniel spent time on the lawn today. What's been happening with your lawn, mate? What's been going on there? Sneaky mow, Scott T, got a sneaky mow in today. Peter N still mowing. Wow. Well, I actually got a mow in today as well. So mum and dad's block of land. So a few episodes ago, we did the video of whippersnipping the back fence line, and I did the rider mow there. So their place starts in about a week's time. So the builder today asked to do a final mow, and to be honest, there wasn't a lot of grass there to cut, but any excuse to jump on the John Deere and cut a few laps. So in amongst the really crap weather we had here today, I was able to get that done. Spent some time on the lawn. Sneaky mowing today, Scott T. Still mowing. Hi, GE. Hi, GE. How you going there? Grass is green and growing. Yep. Hey, Tim, the lawnmower man. How's it going? Have you lost your mind down there in Sydney yet or what? Cold and miserable Central Coast, New South Wales. Now, I heard a whisper today, and it was actually from Tiff Tough Coast, and he was claiming that he was sweating as he was out mulching, and I have a feeling he was pulling my leg. But anyway, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Cold and miserable Central Coast. First 2 days here without rain, so we weeded like a demon. Cooch grass is having a nap. Yeah, well, so's mine. Mine's had another nap because the other day we got another -3. So we've had a -3.5 or 3.7 and then a -3. So hopefully not too many more of those. You're doing my head in, Tim. Yeah, I can understand that, mate. I really, really can. Hex Organ, hey, mate, keep up the great work. Thanks, mate. Look, I appreciate that. It's kind of hard because I never really pictured myself as the sort of person to sit in front of the camera, or let alone do this. I was putting this off for ages. I'm like, oh, live stream, freaky. What if I go wrong? What if something happens? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? These days, I just don't really care a great deal. What do we got? Travis, hey, Brenton, I'd like to know what you don't like about the Santa Ana Cooch. Okay, righto. It's not so much what I don't like about it. There's a few things I think that set it back, and this is only personal experience. Now, I've got a few different cooch grasses here. So I've got the Santa Ana Cooch, obviously. I've got the Wintergreen Cooch. I've got a bit of Tiff Tough. I've got the Tiff Dwarf. I've got the Tiff Eagle. And what else have I got? I think that's about it. Anyway, long story short, I think Centerran is a great lawn for cylinder mowers and that sort of more intense maintenance program. What I do find is, though, yes, it holds colour really well. Yes, it probably comes out of dormancy quicker in springtime, but it's also, I've found, to be the most thirstiest of couch grasses. So it's sort of the first grass or the first couch grass that I've got here that'll start to look thirsty, and it'll start to wilt and get that sort of blue tinge. But it only takes a bit of water to sort of wake it back up. But basically speaking, what happens is I find it to be the most thirsty. The other thing is it's a little bit limited with some chemicals. So obviously things like your Oxafert and Oxapro and those sorts of things can't actually apply any of that stuff to it. Now, it had something to do with, and I'm wondering if Jason will make an appearance later tonight. I was asking him about it. Jason's got a wealth of experience in greenkeeping. Something to do with the waxy coating on the leaves. I'll have to look into it a bit more. I can't quite remember what he told me, but basically you can't put those sort of things on it. But apart from that, look, it's not a bad couch. It's not as invasive. So on a positive, it's not as invasive as, say, Wintergreen or Tiff Tough or anything like that. It doesn't sort of spread as aggressively, and it is easier to control with Roundup. So look, it's not so much that there's not much about it, but it is probably a little bit thirsty. And in my hot, dry climate here, so we're looking at our really hot, dry 45, 46 degree summer days, it really does at times stress it out. So with the new project, I'm going to roll with the Tiff Tough on the new project that I'm sort of working on at the moment. But yeah, that's meant to be a little bit better. Now, what's happening here? What have I got? Okay, so it was Travis, Tim, hey Brenton, top work for running a live stream. Dude, can't wait for spring. Yes, Stuart, look, I can't wait for spring either. That should be really cool. I mean, look, it's probably closer than we think. I'm actually starting to think about doing a little bit of a maintenance thing for my little Victor rotary mower, the what do you call it? The little utility, the scalping mower. Probably going to get a video out on it really soon. Going to show it a little bit of love. So that's cool. Dan, I'm working towards a Scott Bonner. Yeah, that's awesome, mate. I think that's a really good thing to do. And it's something that you'll have for a long, long time. So yeah, Scott Bonner's a great place to start. John Chapman, hi Brenton, Southern Sydney here. Ed Milton, g'day mate, how you going there? Aussie Simo, my Kentucky bluegrass is all but ruined from all the rain. May as well start again because of all the fungus. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. That's a bummer because the Kentucky bluegrass is a really nice lawn. It's probably not something I could have here, but yeah, it's a really nice lawn in the right area. Where are you from, mate? Whereabouts are you at? Daniel, can't wait to get a cylinder mower. Yeah, absolutely. Tim, well, hopefully I haven't got herpes, Tim. I really hope I haven't got that. But anyway, that's yeah. No, I like to have lots of different varieties of grass just to sort of have a little play around. And it's always been one of the things I really liked about greenkeeping because I've got the space here that I can have a bit of this and a bit of that. And I've got a heap of grass here. I've got a little tiny patch of Durban grass, which is sometimes known as sweet smother grass. I've got broadleafed carpet grass, what's North Queensland buffalo. I've got a lot of varieties of grass here in various sizes, quantities, etc., and condition. Glenn, g'day, mate. There you go. There's the pears floating around the top of the whiskey right there. Cheers, brother. I hope you got out and got some and you have one poured. Nev Brown, hi, mate. Yep, how are you going there? Where are you from, Nev? GE, hi, Brenton. After your opinion on grooming, I have a Queensland blue cooch. Have Queensland and just finished a resto. Yeah, look, grooming's a great thing. I think really a lot of, look, if you want to do it, that's great. Don't over groom stuff because it does. If you groom all the time, it's going to damage the turf because it is essentially nicking into the little runners and stuff and promoting areas of new shoots and stuff. So if you're grooming all the time, going forward of that, and I know a few times I've left the groomer engaged in that greens master of mine. It's got the factory groomer in it, and you can actually get a decreased quality of turf. So look, I would suggest, and before I go any further, if you're cutting sort of above sort of 10 mils, I don't think there's a big benefit to grooming. I think it's really sort of great when you get down into that sort of beneath 10, that sort of 5 or 6 millimeters, and it just sort of helps stand the little leaf blades up, put a few nicks, get a tighter crown, get a tighter stand of grass, etc. But listen, I mean, there's nothing stopping you having once a month if you feel like that in the growing season. Have a play around with it, mate. There's no right or wrong. So yeah, no, that's good. Is that oh, I've got to go up a bit. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Where are we? Doing great. Live feed, mate. Good to see you, mug. Thanks, mate. Is that the Toyota chicken from the ad? Yes, it is. Let me get in here. So this is one of those Camry chooks from back in the day. Yep, that's him. That is good spot. That, yeah, absolutely. Put him there for a minute. Where are we? What's your opinion on Wintergreen? Nev, yeah, I've got the Wintergreen. It's actually a little bit of history about that. That's an Australian couch grass. So Wintergreen. Oh, now let me think about this. Wintergreen couch was discovered actually growing in a section of Bowling Green at Ningen Bowling Club in New South Wales. I want to say, when was it? It might have been late 70s, very early 80s. So it was actually an Australian variety. It was a sort of improved variety, or a mutation, a mutated grass, and it grown on. But I'd be surprised if the Wintergreen we've got today is still exactly the same Wintergreen from that first, I guess, bit that was taken from that Bowling Green at Ningen way back in the day. Look, it's good grass. It's one that I recommend to people that also just want a more of a low maintenance sort of couch. I've got it up the back where I just ride on lawn mow. Another mate of mine here in Scone, he recently returfed his yard and he said, what do I put down? I said, look, my suggestion would probably be Wintergreen unless you're going to get down the road a cylinder mower. So look, I actually like it. It's tough and hardy. It's very difficult to kill with Roundup. And it is one of the grasses that you can sort of do that sneaky quarter rate Roundup spray trick if you've got Q. So very versatile. So yeah, I've got no issues with it at all. Have I unboxed? Oh, Tim, yeah, I have unboxed the Toro stuff. I haven't gone outside with anything yet. I've sort of just unboxed it. It's still actually sitting in the dining room, and it looks really good gear. Hey, so waiting to get out and do a test, especially with that brush cutter or that weed whacker or whatever they call them in that long grass from last week's video. I think that'll be a really good test. There was also a chainsaw in there. There was a leaf blower. What else? Oh, and a hedge trimmer. So yeah, a few little toys there. So that was, look, I've got to be honest. Obviously, Toro sent me those things as a free gift. And obviously I'll do a review on them, but like I've done from the get-go, everything that I do a review on is my opinion. I'm not swayed to say or feel like I've got to say something. I don't mean it. I'm not going to say it. So they understand that's how I roll. That is how I roll, and that's how it's going to be. I'm not going to tell you guys that I think something's great if it's not great. Scott T, hey, Daniel's Lawn Care cylinders are great unless you are looking to spend amount of money doing etc. Get yourself a new mower rather than Scott Bonnet. At the end of the day, it's an old mower. Look, yeah, it depends, I suppose. I don't disagree with that, Scott, and I don't agree. I'm somewhere in the middle. If you want to tinker and do that sort of thing, yeah, great. But yeah, if you want no trouble, no nonsense, yeah, just hook into something new. There's Protea. There's a few out there, Protea, Super Swift, all those sorts of ones. Yeah, what else have we got here? Hi, mate. Have you ever worked with Kentucky bluegrass at all? Maybe even mixed with rye? Dylan, no, mate. No, I haven't. I did years ago when I was still greenkeeping and I was still living at home. So it was a long, long time ago. I did actually trial some. We lived back in the day in the Blue Mountains, and I did actually trial some then, but I didn't have a great deal of success with it. But no, very limited. Yeah, my background and all that sort of stuff for me, especially my greenkeeping days, was really the cooches and the cockatoos, and it wasn't even Zoysia. So even the Zoysia I've got now is really pretty much, it's a trial for me too. It's a learning curve, and I've just sort of adopted the attitude that I'm going to treat it a lot like a couch grass, just going to be a slow one at that. Oh, no worries, Dan. So Dan got one of my polo shirts. He wears it all the time, so that's awesome. I'm going to look into getting a new line of merch pretty soon. It's something I've got to start sort of thinking about, and hopefully down the track I might look at setting up some sort of website or something along those lines. What is the name species of Zoysia? Look, John, I'd love to be able to tell you. It's here on trial. One of the conditions obviously is that I can't reveal what it is. So basically it's here. It's not allowed to leave my yard. I had to sign some documentation, etc. It's basically a trial. It's not commercially yet available as far as I'm aware. But if down the track, if something changes, I'll let you guys know. But obviously Lawn Solutions Australia is very happy for me to film it and do all this sort of stuff. They just don't want, at this stage, I guess, I'm going to make a little assumption here. I guess they don't want me talking about exactly what it is in case I mistreat it, it goes bad, and I start bagging it. I think that could be part of it. But at this stage, yeah, look, just that's all I can say. That's how it goes. Sorry, I can't really be any more specific at this stage. Aussie Simo, Canberra. Wow, I bet you it's a bit chilly down there tonight. Canberra. I haven't been there for a long time, probably 15 years since I was in Canberra. Scotty T, I had to do a lot of research. How much would you spend on a Scott Bonner? Brenton, what do you think would be too expensive? That's actually a question. Glenn Russell, somewhere in the comment, somewhere there in the chat, he will be able to tell you all about Scott Bonners, because that's his. I reckon if he wasn't married to his wife, I think he'd be married to a Scott Bonner. Where are we? Have a word that. Brendan send me. Yep. Blah blah blah. Canberra. Oh shivers! We've just jumped right down here. Where are we? Queensland blue isn't supposed to thatch up like other cooches. Yeah, no, that's right, and it's actually not even part of the cooch family. So it's a totally different family. But it just got the cooch name attached to it. So yeah, they're very sort of different. I mean, there's a lot of limitations with the Queensland blue, especially when it comes to herbicides and what you can and can't spray on it. But yeah, look, but on the plus side, if you keep it weed free, you keep it looking good, it stripes up so well for warm season grass. It's a beautiful soft sort of grass. But yeah, look, it's you can't really compare it to a cooch, I guess, because it's not technically a side node and a dactylon species. Where are we? My Santa Ana has never looked better in winter, thanks to you. Still holding good colour. Oh, Hex Organ, mate, that's awesome. What have you been putting down on it? Have you been doing the plant doctor stuff, or what have you been doing? What sort of made it stand out a bit better for you this time, mate? Okay, what is the difference between glyphosate 360, 450, and 560? Okay, so the differences are the actual amount of active ingredients. So glyphosate will be the 360 is 360 grams per litre of product. So say for example, let's just assume for a minute that this here is 1 litre of product. It'll be 360 grams per litre. So out of that 1 litre, 360 grams will be 360, obviously. And as we go up, it's basically a stronger rate. Okay, so it's basically just stronger. That's all it is. And you'll normally find things like the 540 and all that sort of stuff will generally sometimes have a leaf wetter, a surfactant attached to it as well. So you'll get a few extra little bonuses in that as well. Dennis Lawn Care, hey Tim, what's up? Hey Dan, Dennis Lawn Care reached 100 subs the other day. Good work, mate. You're going really well. So just keep at it. Just keep chipping away. That's fantastic. Where are we? Can't wait till 1K. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony, what turf is good to go with if you're only ever going to cut with a rotary mower? Okay. If you're only ever going to cut with a rotary mower, it's still going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on location. It's going to depend on position of location. So for me, for example, my buffalo, so my sapphire buffalo, which is on my shady side, so it's on the southern side of the house, and it's never ever going to see a cylinder mower. It's going to be always rotary cut. So buffalo is a good choice for that if you want to get on that road. Obviously, if you're in a cooler season area, your ryegrasses and all that sort of stuff, your tall fescues will all be fine to cut with a rotary. I think, and I want to do a little bit more trialing with this, I think too many of these newer fancy cooches, so I mean, when I say fancy cooches, the really fine, dwarfy, tight-knit sort of cooches, probably not ideal for long-term rotary mowing. So maybe even start considering coming back to things like Greenleaf's Park Cooch. And I really feel that is probably a very underrated variety of cooch because it's very old school, but it does lend itself very well to rotary mowing. Cockhew, look, all those ones are pretty good. It's probably just some of the real finer cooch grasses that are probably more likely to be a handful to keep long-term with a rotary mower. Where are we? Hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Tim's blah, blah, blah. Where are we? Glenn Russell. Oh, cheers, mate. Yep. I guess you've just got to the bit about the Scott Bonner. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, everyone hit that like button. That'd be awesome. Daniel's Lawn Care. Great idea, man. All thumbs up for Brenton. Thank you very much. Daniel's Lawn Care. How many mowers do I have? Honestly, I don't know. I think there's more. I think there's more than 13. I think there might be nearly 15 in there. I think in various. Yeah, let's roll with 15. Tim the Lawnmower Man. How strong is the rate in that glass? Well, if they say if they did a roundup 900, I'd say that it'd be like 900 whiskey and 10% Coke. So, yep, it's a good brew. Thomas, how are we, mate? Yep, going pretty good. Travis retracted a message. Hey, Karthik, how are you, mate? How's things down in Sydney? Your lawn is looking magic. Well done. If you are on Instagram, go and check out Obsessive Lawny. He's got a really, really cracking good lawn going on there. He spends a lot of time on it, so that's fantastic. I've got Cooch. This is Daniel again. I've got Cooch, Sir Walter, and Empire Zoysia. Wow, you've got quite a mix there too, mate. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's great. Travis, what got you into turf management and where did you do your apprenticeship? Okay, so when I was a little kid, so back in the day, I grew up in a place called Leonay, which is just in the western suburbs of Sydney, just at the bottom of the Blue Mountains. And we actually were lucky enough, our house backed onto the golf course. So I grew up as a little kid, always looking at the back fence, watching all the mowers go by. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to drive tractors and mowers all day long. And anyway, so that obsession started at a very, very young age. And then I did my work experience. I actually did work experience on that golf course. And then later on, I got an apprenticeship, but I didn't get it there. So I did my apprenticeship at a place called Glenmore Heritage Valley. So it was just out of Penrith along the Mulgoa Road there. And I was pretty lucky because at the time, they put on a few apprentices because it was just taken over by a new owner. And they were increasing the course from an 18-hole course to a 27-hole international resort-style course. So I was really fortunate that my apprenticeship wasn't just the usual how to maintain, how to mow, how to grow. It was actually how to construct a course from scratch. So I was really fortunate. So I did my time at Glenmore Heritage Valley. I later on moved on to, I worked at another golf course in the western suburbs of Sydney, which was Fox Hills. And I think it's changed hands now. It was down Blacktown, Toongabbie Way. Then from there, I went across to Wallacia Golf Club, which was back sort of closer to home. And then it was later on taken over by the Panthers football team group. So that was Wallacia Panthers. Then I took a little break from greenkeeping for a while. And then I came back to it at the Vintage Golf Club up in the Hunter Valley. So I was the foreman at the Vintage Golf Club there. And that was probably when I sort of went away from greenkeeping and did a few other things, and then finally got into mining and decided to keep my greenkeeping as something I enjoyed doing myself. So that's sort of a bit of my story and how it all sort of came to be. Katie, yep. Where are we? John at Scott. Have I missed any questions? I hope I haven't. Have you ever used a MowMaster? Luca, have you ever used a MowMaster? No. And this is going to make me sound really bad, but I hadn't actually even heard of MowMaster until I got onto Australian Lawn Fanatics. As much as I knew about in the golf course industry, they weren't really used. We used a lot of Jacobson products. We used Toro, obviously, Ransoms, which was also Cushman at the time. But then when I got to TAFE, we were behind big Alros. And so that was as much as I knew. There was Scott Bonner and Alro, and I didn't really know much more than that. Tim hitting it hard. That's how I roll, mate. You come up here one day and we'll have a couple of drinks, mate. That sounds like a plan. What do you think of push reel mowers? I've only got 50 square meters, and where would I where I would use it? Look, I think they're a good thing. I think they've got a shelf life though, because you can't actually easily sharpen them. And I think if you run over a twig or a bark or something like that, so if you were able to make sure you bought it brand new, you adjusted it just right, you kept it all hunky-dory, I think you'd get a couple of years out of it quite well, and then I think you'd chuck it in the bin. That's my honest opinion. How I think it would play out. 13th Beach Gardening Services. Hey, mate, how's things? What's happening down your neck of the woods tonight? Where are we? Karthik's back. Not so nice RT now, but thanks, mate. No, I think it's still pretty good, mate. I think it's still pretty good. What age did you start your work experience? So I was still at school. So, geez, that's a long time ago, mate. That is a long time ago. I think you do. Did you do work experience in year 9? I can't remember, but I did it way back in the day, and I left school in the end of year 10. I didn't push through. I didn't like school, and school didn't like me, and I could think of far better things to be doing than going to school. So no school for me. Where are we? The Australian Lawn Foundation only 10 minutes away from me. I'm keen to start to meet them soon. Yeah, why not, mate? Absolutely. Thomas, what are your tips for growing kikuyu in northwestern Sydney? Kikuyu. People like kikuyu, so I have to be nice about it. Look, again, kikuyu can be cut really short and be cut really nice. I would, if I was keeping kikuyu, and if I was cutting it with a rotary mower, I'd keep it about sort of 20, 25 mils, so around about an inch. That would be an inch at the lowest and maybe go up a little bit from there. If I was cutting it with a cylinder mower, I'd sort of hover around the sort of 12 to 15 millimeter mark. Yeah, you can go lower, but I think being such a broad grass, look, it's pretty low maintenance stuff. It's pretty much wash and wear. If you feed the guts out of it, then you're going to get ridiculous growth. If you underfeed, it's going to go a bit yellow. So it's a very forgiving grass, especially in Sydney. It depends, I guess, how carried away you want to get with it, how much time you want to invest with it, and do you want just a nice manageable lawn, or do you want it, maintained to an nth degree? It really is a sort of, it's a very forgiving grass, but I guess the question is how much effort you want to put in to achieve a great lawn. Daniel, where are you later? Keen on info about Zoysia. Ben, hey, looking at doing my front yard, would you recommend sand as a base for buffalo on heavy clay soil in the Hunter Valley? Have a new patch of Tiff Bermuda in the backyard. Hey, Ben, yeah, look, I think something like the sand base is a really good growing medium. It as you know, I'm using the sand out the front there, and I've got a really open sort of profile for my buffalo. I think anything that's open profile is a really good thing because it allows more air to circulate in the soil, and it avoids sort of compaction issues and stuff like that. So if you can put down sort of 4 inches, ideally 6, but 4 would be fine. If you didn't want to do that, you'd put down sort of 2 inches at a minimum, but something along that, and you'll have a really nice lawn. So definitely yes to the sand base. Okay, Aaron, any tips on recovering a buffalo lawn if it's completely dead? If it's completely dead, then there's nothing really we can do about it because buffalo only has surface runners. Okay, so it has stolons only, whereas obviously things like cooch and kikuyu have rhizones. So rhizones are underneath the surface and they rise up. So hence the rhizome, and the stolons run across the top. So if the buffalo is gone, it's gone, unfortunately. But if there's little signs of life, it's going to be a slow road back. It's just going to be regular fertilizing regimes, and really nursing it back. Can I ask though, what actually happened? What happened to it? Why did it die? Was it a fertilizer issue? Was it a chemical issue? Was it drought? What was the cause there, Aaron? Daniel, would you buy a Scotty straight up or start off with the push wheel? Mate, whatever floats your boat. If your budget pulls you up at a push mower, then roll with that. See how it goes. It might be fine for you. Scott Bonners used to be really cheap. You'd find them all over the place for $5 or $10, and then everyone got a bit keen on them, and the prices are really, really sky high now. So it really depends on how you want to roll with it, I think. So that's something up to you. Hey, he's Dan. He's a bit of green and gold life. Got the whiskey here, mate. A bit of whiskey. It's looking a bit dark, actually. Geez. I played the vintage. It's a cracker. Santa Ana turf, I believe. Yes, it is. Or it was. They had a lot of Santa Ana, and they had, I can't think what it was now. They had, at the time I was there, they had some sort of grass in the rough, and it was really weird, and I hadn't seen it anywhere else, and I can't remember what it was, but I think it was a failure, and I think it's probably all today Santa Ana cooch. Where are we? Daniel's Lawn Care, radio. Glenn, Daniel's Lawn Care, have you got message? Yeah, so there you go, Dan. Get hold of Glenn Russell. He's got the Scott Bonner Restorations page, and he is a wealth of knowledge, and I've actually gone to him with questions myself. So yeah, definitely, go and have a yarn to him, because what he doesn't know about Scott Bonners isn't worth knowing. Where are we? What's your trade nowadays? So BG2. So these days I'm in the mining industry, so I'm a coal miner. I'm in production, so I operate trucks and dozers occasionally, water carts, and I'm doing a little bit of training and assessing as well. So yeah, that's what I sort of do these days. So obviously doing shift work isn't always the best thing, but it's 13 years now. So yeah, poking along in the mining industry. Dan, what's good? Hit me up with Instagram. Tim Lillman, I've got a Swordman for sale if you want it, Dan. Tim, why have you got it? And why are you selling it? Why are you selling it, my friend? Why? You reckon I could put me channel link in the chat? Yeah, look, Dan, chuck your channel link in there, mate. If you go and check out Dan's page, he's a new young fella. He's doing a bit of greenkeeping. He's doing a course on the side. So yeah, chuck your link up there, mate. People go and check him out. He's going to do great things, I'm sure. 2-stroke or 4-stroke whippersnippers. Okay, I've had 2s and 4s. I personally like the 4-stroke. So I've got a Honda straight shaft whippersnipper, and I've had it since, believe this or not, 1997. And it, apart from a fuel line, I've spent no money on it apart from servicing. Still starts first, second pull every single time. So for me, the 4-stroke's good. I just find it though, I just think the real high-end still stuff, and I was actually talking to Tim, the lawnmower man, the other day about the one that he's got in his channel. I think those high-end still, but you're talking $1,000. Those ones there are probably more ballsy if you're doing that real hardcore stuff day in and day out, because they've got a little bit more rev about them, because the 4-stroke obviously doesn't rev as high as a 2-stroke. But for general around the home, around the yard, mine, I did some commercial mowing with mine in Sydney way back in the day as well. It's fine, but sometimes it's probably getting a bit old, a bit tired. But yeah, look, 4-stroke for me, hands down. I think it's a winner. And I think the battery stuff, so I'm looking forward to trying this battery stuff. I think it'll be really good as well. Where are we? Aaron. So I put some Amgro Buffalo Weed Killer and put it on the grass as it said on the package. It browns the lawn a little fast, but later on the whole green is die. Oh, okay. So I put some Amgro Buffalo Weed Killer. Wow. And it put, okay. If the lawn, oh, hang on. We're going to bring the chat back up. It said on the package, it browns the lawn a little, but later on the whole lawn died, but there's little green still there. Okay, so you still got some life in it. Are you in, whereabouts are you now? Okay, what part of the world are you in? Are you in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, overseas? Whereabouts? Oh, Amgro, you'll be here somewhere, but not much can do now, unless probably in Brisbane or north of Brisbane until spring. So just sit tight with it for now. Too much, mate. You don't need it. Where are we, Tim? Because you've seen what I cut now, Brent. Okay, yep, fair call, Tim. Yep, fair call. Yep. If you haven't seen Tim's channel, go and check it out, because he's got this pretty awesome Skag mower, which is like a stand-on mower, and it's pretty schmick, eh? It's really good. Where are we? Pork Roll. G'day, Brenton. Hey, Porky, how are you, mate? Tim. Oh, look out, Karthik could buy it. Hey, look out, we could do a bit of a online auction here. Tim's home lawn's not getting much love. Well, I suppose you're probably draining the tank by being out and about and mowing everyone else's yards, Tim. How did the little patch of Tiff Tuff hold up with this cold weather? Okay, so the Tiff Tuff, the Tiff Tuff is going all right. It doesn't hold quite as good colour as maybe the Santa Ana at this point in time. It's probably a little bit better than the Wintergreen, but it has lost a little bit. But I'm interested to see how it comes back at the end of the day as well, come springtime. So yeah, Chris Champion, hey mate, how you going? How's the you be getting ready to use that Toro? He's just got himself a Greensmaster 1000, and that looks a pretty sweet bit of gear. Do you get decent money being a greenkeeper? Being the foreman. Look, greenkeeping is a great job, and I have been out of the industry for a long time. but it didn't give me much avenues to progress as a person. So I sort of bowed out of it and just kept on doing it as for the love of it, really. But things might have changed now. If there's any greenkeepers in the comments that's still actively greenkeeping, just have a little yarn with Dan there and just sort of see how he's you'll be able to give you a better idea than I can. Where are we? Pork roll Bermuda. What's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. No, I've got. Yep. I just wasn't sure pork roll if you're talking about the Tiff Eagle or the Tiff Dwarf, but you're actually talking about the Tiff Tough. So yep. No, that's cool. Where are we? Go, Daniel. He's just started up, and I believe in supporting. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Codes. Absolutely. How's the Toro gear, mate? Get a coffee machine in there too. Yeah, I mean, Toro's been really, really kind to me, so I'm really fortunate there. I haven't actually given it a whirl yet, mate. I haven't actually given it a go. So yeah, look, it's but I'm looking forward to it. Just need some good weather. Like we had rain and wind and stuff all this morning, but every day I'm at work it's fine and sunny, and every day I'm at home it's cloudy, miserable, raining, and too windy to go outside. So it's a terrible situation. Where are we? Going down. Okay, so you're in Sydney, Aaron. Okay, cool. Yeah, just hold out, mate. Just hold out. Spring's just around the corner. But don't pump a heap of fertilizer into it. Just let it come back slowly. We don't want to stress it out too much, but we want to give it a little feed, but we don't want to give it heaps. So yeah, just wait till late spring and you'll start to see it doing a bit more. And then probably it'll take this season to fully recover. But once it does that, you'll be back on and, you'll know not to use that product again or a bit less of it or whatever the case may be. I am keen on some Toro stuff, Daniel. Yep, no, it's good stuff. Is the link showing up? I don't know. Is the link showing up? I'm trying to keep up with everything else that's going on here. Where are we? What fertilizers would you recommend for the buffalo lawn to keep it going? I don't feed my buffalo a heap. I give it probably 3 to 4 feeds a year. I give it a really heavy feed after I do my renovations. I give it one around about Christmas time, and then I might give it another one sort of towards the end of summer and one before winter, but generally 2 to 3. And it doesn't really require a heap of fertilizer. It's sort of a lawn that can survive quite well with lesser amounts. So what am I using at the moment? I used to use a lot of the dynamic turf lifter, which was a commercial dynamic lifter, but it's nearly impossible to get now. So I just use sort of a complete sort of fertilizer. The slow release stuff I use at the end of the season. So I use the Plant Doctor Champion Mini Prill slow release stuff. It works really good. It's a really good slow feed over a long period of time. But after renovations, I use more of a fast release. So I sort of refer to that as more like a Red Bull fertilizer. So it's just like bang, gives it everything. And then it sort of brings it back to life after I massacre it. And then obviously some gentle feeds here and there and, some seaweed and stuff like that. It just really depends on how much effort, again, you want to put into it. Where are we? Supermum, hey, buddy, nice to see you getting into the live streaming. Enjoy your videos a lot. Keep kicking goals. Thank you very much. That's awesome. I appreciate the support. I was a little bit gun-shy, I guess, tonight about starting a live stream because it's one thing working in front of a camera that I know I can cut, delete, edit, change, but when it's going out live, it was a little bit daunting at first, but I think we're getting there. Any recommendations? Okay, Joshua, any recommendations for alternatives to treat paspalum in cooch? That's a good one. How much paspalum have you got there? Have you got a heap of it or what? I'm just trying to think, what is the active? What is the active in that? I'm trying to think what the active is. Just hang on. I want to have a quick look at something here. Where are we? Herbicide. Okay. You can use things like the DSMA. Look, I shouldn't really be recommending DSMA because it is sort of more of a commercial product, but DSMA is, you got to be a bit careful using it, but DSMA is something which is pretty good for that. Yeah, I just couldn't think off the top of my head what was in tribute. And I wasn't going to say use DSMA when it was actually in tribute. But anyway, yeah, DSMA is not a bad choice. Okay. No, dude, must be a feature. Okay. So unfortunately the link's not coming up, Dan. That's a shame, man. El's Adventure Vlogs. G'day, the host G'day, the host and all the Ellie's Adventure Vlogs from Wollongong, New South Wales. Sweet. G'day. Okay, so yeah, absolutely go in there and search. Oh, look who it is. Mr. Lawn Tips himself. So he's taken the night off from moving house. So he's moved into his new house and he's been looking out in the background there and he's seen his stubby cooler up the back. So yeah, mate, how's things? She'll be getting a cut tomorrow, mate. Hopefully. What's your opinion on scarifying and scalping? Or do you think go both in spring runners? Yeah, I go both. I absolutely come spring, absolutely go nuts. I mean, ask Ben when Ben was here. Absolutely go. I'm just looking at Ben's comment here about the chicken. Go nuts. Yeah, absolutely go nuts. So shave it down to dirt, rip in, scarify down below the soil level. Just show it who's boss, because it'll come back loving you for it. So yeah, that's my advice. Yep, codes. Ben, hope your movie's going well and or went well. I've been looking forward to seeing what's doing at the new digs. Well, apparently Ben's got me going out there to renovate all his turf, and I don't know about this all business, but anyway, we will see. Ben, the chicken in the background, mate. It's the Camry chook from back in the day when back in the 90s. You probably weren't even born in the 90s, but that's the Camry chook, mate, from the Toyota ads. Yeah, Anthony, yes, Lawn Tips. That is the old Camry mascot, absolutely. Oh, what a feeling. Thoughts on Shirley's lawn food? Thomas, do you know what? I actually don't mind it. It's actually not a bad post-renovation, off-the-shelf sort of a feed. It's more of a Red Bull fertilizer. So as we're talking about before, it is more of a Red Bull fertilizer. So it's going to be more of that fast release. So you got to always make sure you give it a good drink afterwards. But that is actually one of my go-tos if I need fertilizer in a hurry and I can't get anything sent to me. So if I needed the fertilizer today, I know I haven't got time to wait for a delivery. That's actually one of the ones I go to. So yeah, I've got no problems using it at all. Dave, my wife thinks I'm weird watching people mow lawns. Ben from Orange especially. Yeah, but I suppose, yeah, anyone that watches Ben would be a bit weird. But that would probably include myself. So, yep, I think we're all a bit weird. After all, it's Saturday night and we're here listening to me talk about grass. Like, wow, out of all the things you could be doing right now. Where are we? Code name. I love it. Hey, Brenton, would you suggest I use 2-spec established on Bermuda when it warms up? Was laid the start of July. Okay, Ben, where are you? Whereabouts are you? But yeah, look, that's from memory. 2-spec established has got pretty high amounts of phosphorus, and when I say high amounts, it's probably more balanced mix. So it's probably, is it something like 12, 10 and something? But yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with that. But also don't underestimate getting soil tests done too, because it's all well and good just to chuck stuff down. But if you're just throwing down stuff for the sake of it and you don't really know what your turf is after, sometimes that can be a little bit counterproductive as well. So yeah, but no, look, it's fine to use. It's fine to use. Yeah, codes. I love that chicken ad. I really do. And when I actually got that, I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. It's obviously not the chicken, but it's a replica. Problems with people when putting yeah, see, that's what I mean. I'm really cautious about suggesting uses. This is John Chapman. DSMA is causing big problems when people put the clippings in the green waste. Yeah, look, that's why I get really funny about recommending sort of chemicals and stuff. And you probably noticed a little bit on my channel, I've sort of started to shy away a little bit from talking about and using herbicides, more so fungicides and insecticides and all that sort of stuff, just because it's a different world today. I did a greenkeeping course that was sort of written in the 70s, even though I did mine in the 90s, just saying that. And I've still got my tech notes over here, a pile of them about so high. And it was all spray is life. And a lot's changed since then. And I'm still a little bit locked into the old ways. So, yeah, that's why I'm just trying to get away from talking a little bit about the chemical side of things. Where are we? Glenn Russell. I want your thoughts come spring. Shall I go all out to dirt on the green leaves? As you know, it'll be 13 months old come spring. Go to town on it. A wise man once said you can't kill cooch. Yeah, I would. A lot of people tell you don't, but I would. But I'd make the most of that time. If you've got areas that are undulating or not quite as level as you want, I'd take that opportunity and I would actually bury and try and get that surface as perfect as you'd want it, because that's the time you do your most improvement. So you've got all you have got rhizomes, you have got all that sort of stuff live under the ground. You aren't. What sort of language is that? You will not kill the cooch by doing that to it. I'd cover it over, give it a good heavy top dress, smooth it off, smick, and then you'll get some cracking short heights of cut on that green leaf. Yep, go for it, Glenn. Absolutely. And the only reason I'm suggesting that to Glenn is because I know his situation. I know where he's at. I know where he lives. I know all that sort of stuff. So I'm not blindly saying do it. I actually know the bit of the background of that one. So that's the go there. Steve Tonkin, hey, I work on a turf farm in Victoria. I cut Tiff Tough with a firefly on sand. With a firefly. What's a firefly? On sand cutting with great LSA color guard plus and looking good. Yeah, that color guard stuff. I've seen a bit about that. I haven't tried it. I don't know. I think it's good, but geez, if I spray that on my lawn, I'd cop some flack. It would be ridiculous the amount of flack that I'd cop if I was painting my lawn. But I reckon it's a good thing. Yeah, when it's recycled, it can kill whatever the new soil. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. So John is saying with the DSMA, once it's recycled, it can actually kill whatever the new soil is put on. So definitely, yeah. Don't be putting it in green waste and stuff like that. I don't have any green waste here, but then I live in the sticks. So yeah. Ben is offended. Why would you be offended, Mr. Sims? Why would you be offended? Back to Aaron. Is the fertilizer you use from the winter video this year good? Which one? I've got to think back because I use a lot of different fertilizers. Was that the plant doctor stuff, or was that something different? I've got to think because I've got a lot of I've got so many different types out there. I've got to think what I used and where I used it. Ben, just down the road from you at Maitland. Okay, yes. I think have you emailed me before? I'm pretty sure that I think now that we might have spoken. Look, so when it starts to warm up, chuck it down and you'll be right. So for us, I would actually, where are we now? September. Yeah, towards the end of August, September, start thinking about your renos in September. But while I'm on that, start thinking about your, if you haven't used a pre-emergent, start thinking about bindi killers and stuff like that now. So if you haven't got anything to spray for bindis, start thinking about getting that now, because in the next couple of weeks, it's time to start spraying bindis, because I think if I went for a walk up the back of my place now, there would be quite a lot of bindis going on. Greg Oaks, hi, mate. What's your favourite beer? I'm actually a bit of a whiskey drinker, to be honest with you, Craig. If someone hands me a beer, I actually had a beer today, but if someone hands me a beer, I'll drink it. If there's beer in my fridge, it's because somebody left it there. But yeah, I'm into the spirits more than the beers. So don't hate me for that. Painting's cheating, Chris. It sort of is, isn't it? Because I don't know. Davies, is scarifying QQ recommended? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. A bit like cooch, you're not going to kill that stuff. So, look, hook in. Not now, but in springtime, hook in, scarify. You'll be amazed what comes out of it, and you'll be amazed how good it comes back afterwards. Okay, Aaron, yes, the plant doctor. Yep. That's a surprise product. It's great value. It works really well. It doesn't give you that instant pop, but what it does give you is slow, steady release. And I probably prefer the mini prill to the standard, because the standard was a bit, reminded me a bit of kitty litter, and that's fine if you're cutting really tall, but cutting too short, because of the way the product is, the mineral stuff, it doesn't actually break down like a normal synthetic fertilizer. It stays sort of that sort of materially gravelly sort of look. So I recommend going straight to the mini prill no matter what, unless you're cutting really tall, obviously. Where are we? Is Yates Buffalo Pro weed and feed good to use, or is there a better product to use? Last year, I did a little play around with those weed and feed products. And look, I think if you're going to use depends on the situation. If you've got a little tiny patch of grass, if you're 50 square meters, 100 square meters, and you haven't got the room to store heaps of stuff, then I think it's a viable option. I've used, when I first put my buffalo down, I used the Buffalo Pro concentrate, and I put it in the little spray, the hand sprayer, and I went around and I did it that way. But as far as it's watered down. Don't take this the wrong way, anybody, but it's kind of idiot-proof in a sense that you can spray it on and not much is. It's going to be pretty tricky for you to kill the lawn. So look, I think in certain situations it's fine. If you wanted to use something else, then obviously you can go down the roads of your bow and arrows or stuff, or even consider using a pre-emergent. So you could then alleviate the need to spray anything at all. Lachlan, hey BK, I didn't realise you're doing a live. Great to see you. Thanks, mate. Yep, no, I decided to bite the bullet because this time of year I'm not putting out a video once a week just because there's not much happening. It takes up, actually, it really surprises me. It surprised me how much time it takes to put a video together. I never thought that a 5, 10, 15-minute video could take me so long, but it does. So I've decided to sort of take it back a step and do videos once a fortnight and just push on and do some stuff in the yard because I really need to get some stuff done. But unfortunately, the weather's playing havoc with me getting that done, but that's how it goes. John, I was looking for embargo the other day and a newer version came up called Spartan. Any experience? No, nothing at all. So I'm going to have a look into that myself. The Green and Gold Life Whiskey, don't get me started. Love a good, single malt. Yeah, well, we've talked about this. Dan and I'm into the dirty old Johnny and all that sort of stuff at the bottom of the barrel. So, yeah. Mitch S, hey mate, could you do more in-depth videos about the buffalo? Yeah, look, what sort of stuff? That's a good question. What sort of stuff are you guys wanting to see? What do you want to see out of the buffalo lawn? I mean, we've got the this season I'm going to do that mulching, catching comparison thing. I'm going to divide that lawn into half, and I'm going to mow the exact same half with the catcher for the whole season, and then the exact same half with the mulch. And that's obviously why that battery Toro came out onto the scene as well. So be able to use that mower to do that trial. But yeah, let me know what sort of things you want to see. Where are we? Blah, blah. Wilco 67 or 67 Wilco. How low can I scalp Zoysia come spring? As low as Cooch and Cockute. Now, I'm on a bit of a learning curve with Zoysia myself at the moment. So I had up until I planted the stuff here, I've had no Zoysia experience, but my understanding of talking with Lawn Solutions and those guys, I'm just going to treat it like a really slow Cooch grass. So I'm going to treat it along the lines of, treat it like Cooch to a degree, but it's just going to be slower to respond. So absolutely, if it needs to be done, then yeah, feel free. Ryan, what do you recommend? What do you recommend for a Red Bull fertilizer? So basically, anything that's going to be really fast release, especially with things like you hear a lot of talk, I guess, about Eco 88 and all those sorts of things. Now, I think you'll find that that's pretty much limited to the Queensland market. Down here in New South Wales, I use a product called Nitrofosca. Now, it's a really balanced fertilizer, so it's very balanced in the N, the P, the K. So that's a pretty good fast release one. Number 17 is a good one to buy. Shirley's number 17 is a good one to buy over the at the Bunnings. But again, I think that's more of a New South Wales thing. It's funny because I talk to people in Victoria and I say, try this, try that. They don't get it. So each state has their own sort of things apart from if you go to online stores where you can sort of get the same fertilizers that you hear a lot of people talking about. Where are we? Blah, 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 blah. Ryan, yeah, we just talked about that. Lachlan, mate, I'm after a recommendation. Last season, I had my Coquille 8 mils. Wow, good work. I was using 2-spec granular, but it wouldn't fall past the leaf blade. Yeah, okay. That's when I'd be going to a mini prill because you're down anything under the sort of 12 millimeter mark, you really want to start getting down to the greens grade product. So I think that's something to consider. So start looking at some of the renovate sort of stuff and what else. You could use the Plant Doctor mini prill stuff. It'd go all right for you as well. Spartan is the same active as Barricade. Okay, there you go. I haven't actually used any pre-emergency yet because touch wood, I don't have any real massive problems with wintergrass or I've got a few broadleafs that pop up, but yeah, but I will. I've got some there. I just haven't yet used it. Where are we? Aaron, looking forward to the front yard. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Because I'm sick of looking at dirt and I'm sick of looking at sand. I'm sick of looking at a project that I can't finish. So yeah, I really want to get it ready. So come very early days of spring, I can chuck some fertilizer down. Where are you? Wow, 55 minutes. Just got 3 more subs. Good work, Dan. Tim, the Lawnmower Man, how big is my block? So my block here is just shy of 1 acre. So got a heap of room here to play with. So yeah, just shy of an acre. That is it. Wow, we've covered some ground tonight, guys. Yeah, look, I hope that Anth took from a reno in September to December for my Zoysia to grow full coverage. It's very slow, and I wouldn't go as low as Cooch, and I'm in New South Wales. There you go. So yeah, depending on where you are, but basically, yeah, be prepared to wait for it to recover. Davies, thinking of overseeding my cocktail this summer. What seed would you recommend? Depends where you're at. I don't think I'd be overseeding a warm season grass in Australia in summertime personally. I mean, obviously, the first grass, if you really, really wanted, the first grass that springs to mind for me would be the ryegrass. So yeah, that's what I'd do. Yep, definitely the ryegrass. Wow, this is really blowing my mind. So anyway, guys, look, I suppose we should really start to wrap it up a little bit. So I reckon we'll call it a day in about 5 minutes time. So if you've got any questions, throw them up there, and I think we'll call it a day in about 5 minutes. Super Mum, do you have any plans to make a cool season green? It crosses my mind from time to time, but as far as actually at this stage, the answer is no, I guess. Going forward, if I've got everything else done here that I want to get done, then maybe. But at this point in time, my climate here is far too hot in summertime. It's just, yeah, and the amount of water that I'd probably have to put on it is, no. Look, at this stage, let's say no, but never say never. Where are we? John, cheers, Brandon. Looking forward to seeing how things go in your front yard. Thanks, mate. Yep, appreciate that. Steve, Brenton, is it Fire Philly? Is that right? Is a turf harvester. I cut Tiff, Tough, and Sir Wilder on sand this time of year as Victoria is wet, and it's easy to lay as a harvest turf for Bunnings in Victoria. Oh, very good. Yep. How's the Tiff Tough down there? Is it looking, apart from the colour that you've painted on it, is it growing at all? Is it doing anything, or is it just sort of sitting there? Tim the Mummy, thanks, mate. Nice work. First stream. You're a natural. I'm a natural idiot. That's probably about it. Codes. Cheers, Brendan. Good live stream. Cherry busting. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Aaron, also my lawn has Bermuda grass on it. Will the buffalo grass runners grow over it and make the whole lawn fully buffalo, or do you need to get rid of the Bermuda grass? I think you're going to be struggling to get rid of the Bermuda grass. I don't know. It's always going to be there, mate. Basically, it's always going to be there. So yeah, I think in this situation they're going to have to coexist, or you're going to, yeah. There's no product that I can think of that's going to kill couch grass or Bermuda grass outside of a buffalo. You can do it the other way around. You can get rid of the buffalo, but yeah. And I think a bit of the reason why that is the fact that buffalo is not a sports turf. And I guess the money in turf is in sports turf. So a lot of money spent developing chemicals to treat unwanted stuff or unwanted grasses, so I should say. So when you've got situations like a buffalo, which is a home lawn, and that was what we're taught at turf at TAFE back in the day when I was doing my training. All we need to know about buffalo is it's a home lawn and you won't see it in the sports field moving right along. And that was buffalo. That was how they covered buffalo. So that's why there's no interest in actually eradicating it. So yeah. Where are we? Thanks Luca. Yeah, appreciate that. That's Sora, good first chat. Lachlan, hey BK, the Tiff Eagle looks like the goods. Would you recommend it for short lawn or just putting greens? Okay, so it's an improved version of Tiff Dwarf, and I've only just got it in the last few months. If you were going to have a really short cut home lawn, yeah, it'd be great. It'd be fine. Does all those mini TIF lawns do have the tendency to get a little bit thatchy if you overfeed them. So it's a fine line between keeping them green and keeping them too well fed, and they start to thatch. So, but yeah, it's a little bit more of an advanced cooch, but certainly wouldn't be shy if you can get it. It's probably a little bit hard to find. I know that there's one grower in Queensland, but then I've also been told that grower won't sell to the public, that particular grass. So I don't know. If you can find it, have a play with it, see what works for you. See you. Oh, yeah, see you, Dan. Have a good night, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Do you have any? Okay, Travis, do you have any other favourite YouTubers that you like to watch? Lawn related, of course. Thanks for putting yourself out there for us to enjoy. Yeah, okay. So who do I watch at the moment? Do Your Best. Actually, I really enjoy sitting back watching Do Your Best. So if you haven't seen Do Your Best, he's a fella in South Australia. He's got a Santa Ana lawn that he's oversowed with some ryegrass now at the moment. So he's just chilled out guy. I really like watching his stuff. He's doing a really great job. Connor Ward is a bit of fun. The lawn tools. I like watching the lawn tools. Who else? Oh, the South African lawn. I enjoy watching a bit of that. I'm actually really enjoying watching his progress with his bent putting green at the moment. Who else? Obviously Ben, but we don't tell him that I watch that. It'll go to his head. Yeah, I can't think of, obviously, Dan, the Green and Gold Life. So, yeah, no, there's a few there. That's, yeah, what I do. Are you willing to do a test of using dicamba on your buffalo at the back? I'll let you in a little bit of a secret. Sapphire buffalo actually can handle a little bit of that, where things like palmetto and that won't. Like that broadside, I've got a product out there called Broadside, and it strictly says do not use on buffalo lawns. And I've actually used it. I tried a little bit and it didn't, but I have been told palmetto is one that it doesn't like. So there's certain buffaloes, any of the ST varieties. So yeah, my buffalo, that Sapphire is actually probably a little bit underrated really, but yeah, I've tried it before. Where are we? Aaron, or do I take the Bermuda off and put new buffalo? It depends what you want to do, mate. If you are totally against the Bermuda grass and you want the buffalo, yeah, I'm guessing you're from America somewhere. Is that right? Because we're talking about Bermuda a lot, not so much cooch. And yeah, probably even raising your height right up could be the ticket. But if you really want to get rid of that, I'd probably suggest, yeah, you're going to have to restart. You're going to have to reset. Where are we? James Dog at the Green and Gold, my boy. Okay, I think he's gone. Has he gone? I think he's gone. Right, what else we got? Oh, I can't read. I can't speak Russian, so I hope that's not rude. Dave, why not buffalo on your front lawn? I did actually consider it for about 5 minutes, and then I decided to go with cooch. Obviously, now I've got cooch on one side of the yard. I'm not going to put it on the I'm not going to change total varieties on the other side of the driveway. I just don't think that'll look all that fantastic. And I use buffalo in the shady areas because I do prefer cooch. It's sort of, I guess, my favorite. Aaron's out of here. Thanks for great tips. You should do more live streams. Have a good night. Yeah, look, absolutely. Just sitting... where are we, Steve? Just sitting in it, slab, but looking great. What are we? And great to lay, mate. Have a little think about what that actually means. Just sitting in it. Oh, okay. So it's not doing anything. Sorry, I'm with you now. Yep. Crumbs. Hey, bud, just laid my first ever cooch. Any tips on maintaining as little as possible? Yeah, look, cooch is probably a more high maintenance grass than some, but yeah, look, just give it, you can just sort of keep it at about 30 mils. So say keep it at about 3 centimeters, give it a couple of feeds a year, and I think you'll be fairly fine if you want that low maintenance sort of approach. So that would be the way to go. Okay, Dan's out of here. I'm actually out of here myself really, really soon. Aaron is in Sydney, righto. Yep, cool. Okay, so we are talking about cooch. Yeah, look, I definitely think if you want the buffalo, you're going to have to sacrifice the whole lot and start again. Hey, mate, if I was you, come for a drive to Echuca for a look. I'd love to. I'd love to do that. It's a really awkward time at the moment to be doing any of that sort of travel stuff. But yeah, definitely keep in touch, mate. Send me an email. There's an email address somewhere on my page there, or hit me up on the Facebook page. Send me an email. We'll have a bit of a chat. And who knows what could happen down the track. Chris, when are you going to start selling products? It's in the back of my mind. So at some stage, I might start looking into that a little bit more. But everything will happen when it's meant to happen, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Lachlan, Tiff, Tough, or Santa Ana? What's your preferred cultivar? Ask me that question in 12 months' time, because I'm going to have Santa Ana on one side of my driveway and Tiff Tough on the other. So ask me that question in 12 months' time, and I'll be able to give you an honest answer. Wilco, can you recommend a full north aspect with no shade type of turf to handle the sun? Okay, so can we make some assumptions here? Are we talking Australia? What part of Australia? How much effort do you want to put into it? If you want low maintenance, then I'm going to suggest Buffalo or Kikuyu. If you want to have a nice finer cut lawn, Cooch would be fine, because we're north facing. So we've got plenty of sunshine, etc. So they would be my suggestions. How's Cooch coat with being a bit longer than 3 centimeters? Fine. The greater area in my backyard, sometimes I keep it at 2.5, 3 inches. So look, with the rotary rider mower, yeah, it's fine. Don't stress about that at all. Okay, at East Coast Sydney. Cool. Righto. Yep. So definitely, yeah, one of those. And up to you which way you want to go. But yeah, they're all good choices. The three big ones, Cooch, Kikuyu, and Buffalo. And depends what's around you too. Depends what's around your neighbourhood as well. Like maybe next door, is there a situation where next door's got Kikuyu or Buffalo that's going to creep in, or whatever. So yeah, that's all good. Where are you? Yeah, I've only got a rotary and she's defo not flat. Righto. Yep. So yeah, look, yeah, nothing wrong with keeping it on the taller side. Glenn Russell, thumbs up on your live chat. Live cherry. Loads of knowledge, brother. Look forward to another chat. Yeah, look, guys, it's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's time for me to sign off. And yeah, look, have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.